Hey, everybody, OGG, Overt Go Green. How's it going? I'm doing good. I hope you are too. Coming at you with a deck tech today, but before we get to the deck, 3 questions. Do you like Ob Nixilis? Do you like Liliana? And do you like winning games? If you said yes to all 3 of those, man, this deck is for you. I call it Lili-Nixilis. Or Lili-Nixilis. Like I combined their 2 names. So Lili-Nixilis uses the 3 mana Ob Nixilis we've all come to know and be aware of. Card's pretty solid. And it also uses 4 copies of him. And uses 4 copies of Liliana of the Veil. Black 1. New Planeswalker from Dominaria United. 3 loyalty, +1 each player discards a card, -2. Target player sacks a creature, -6. Separate all permanents. Target player controls into 2 piles. They pick a pile, and that entire pile is all sacrificed. So outside of those 2 planeswalkers, what are we playing here? And this is where the deck gets spicy, because it has some crazy synergies. So let's just start at the 1 mana slot. We're playing some removal with Play with Fire, and 1 Light Up the Night for cutesies with all the planeswalkers we're playing and the copy of Ob Nixilis. Maybe you flash this back to do an incredible amount of damage. Infernal Grasp, classic removal, gotta kill creatures that are threatening our planeswalkers, and 4 Lightning Strike for even more removal. And possibly damage to the face. You never know. Now, what cards am I playing with? Here, so we got Tenacious Underdog, a 3/2 that blitzes and pay 2 life. Classic standby. You're seeing this guy everywhere right now. We got 4 Riveteer's Requisitioner, a 3/1 that when he dies, you make a treasure token. If you blitz him, you draw a card too. So he has a lot of upside. I really like this card. Then we got 1 Blood Tithe Harvester, black-red, also a 3/2, and he makes an artifact token. Could help with drawing and discarding a card, and I'll explain why discarding could be good for this deck in a second, but it's also good because it's an artifact, and I'll explain why that's good in a second. But these 3/2s, all these guys have 3 power on turn 2, and jump right into Ob Nixilis. So that way we get 2, 3 loyalty Ob Nixilises, Ob Nixilises, whatever your preference is. You get 2, 3 loyalty ones right off the bat by sacking one of our 10 3-power 2-drops. Also at 2-drop, we have 3 The Raven Man. So the Raven Man he's a 2/1 for black 1. At the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a 1/1 black bird flying creature token with flying, and this creature can't block. Black 3, each opponent discards a card. Activate only as a sorcery. This works great with our discard options of the Blood Token, Liliana, or Ob Nixilis. So you end up making a good number of bird tokens. The bird tokens are very useful to sacrifice possibly for that extra Ob Nixilis if you need them. Like let's say they kill your non-token Ob Nixilis, then you can sack a bird and you get 2 more Ob Nixilises, then you have 3 Ob Nixilises. Also, we're running 3 Braids, the Arisen Nightmare, black 1 for a 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, you may sack an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. If they don't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Well, remember, we have creatures to sacrifice, obviously. Riveteer's Requisitioner makes an artifact. Blood Tithe Harvester makes an artifact. So you can sacrifice those. And if your opponent doesn't have an artifact to sack, they can't choose to sack it, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. So you can sack a blood token to shock your opponent and you draw a card. Good. The Raven Man, you can sack these Raven tokens, so you can start drawing off of Braids. And then I also have 2 Shakedown Heavy. Guy's an unbelievable blocker. It's also hilarious to make Shakedown Heavy sacrifice for an Ob Nixilis, and then you +1 the Ob Nixilis, and you have an Ob Nixilis that just starts right at, like, because you bring him into play, you +1 him, he's at 7 loyalty. The next turn he can use his ultimate, which, basically says you should win the game if you draw 7 cards, or if your opponent only has 7 or less life, it literally says you win the game. Braids also can sack these little devil tokens, which can ping guys for damage. And then you'll notice over here for lands, I got 4 Haunted Ridge, 4 Sulphurous Springs, 1 Sokazan, 1 Tekunama, and 7 Swamps, 5 Islands. That adds up to 22 land. The highest, I curve out here at 3 mana. Another thing to keep in mind is you only need really 3 mana for this deck. Feel free to sack a land and really make your opponent think, like, do they want to be held? Do they want to be stuck? Right? Do they want to lose 2 life and let you draw a card? Or is it actually you can kind of play with them a little bit and, you sack your 4th land or your 5th land. Do they want to sack their 4th or 5th land? Or what if they missed the land drop? Right? They might not want to sack it, okay? So, especially like this guy, like I said, and the treasure, the little bit of treasure juice is nice as well. So that's the whole deck. I call it Lili-Nixilis because Liliana the Veil and Ob Nixilis are kind of combo teaming up frenemies, maybe little frenemies, right? Teaming up to kind of take on everybody, and just show them what's up. But the gameplay will be coming out for for this one very soon. I got a couple other deck techs coming at you, so feel free to check those out as well in the coming days here. But otherwise, if you dig the content, I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate the sub if you already haven't. And if you have any suggestions or any questions, or maybe you're wondering why you would have put a certain card in here, but I didn't, right? Let me know. I'd love interacting with you guys in the comments. So please let me know, and I will get back to you right away. Otherwise, as always, this is OGG. Out.